Remember how Congress thought the Comey hearings would be a great time to ram some bad bills down our throat, like the Wrong Choice Act? Well, Republicans in Congress are up to their dirty tricks again, this time working to repeal Obamacare in the dark of night. The U.S. Senate is hoping most Americans won't notice that they're about to overturn Obama's landmark health care bill, which provided high-quality coverage to millions of Americans and got rid of pre-existing conditions, among many other, gee, that makes complete sense if you're not in the pockets of the insurance company, ideas. And they're doing it in the worst way possible. Normally, bills this big go through a hugely complex legislative process where many voices can be heard and expert testimony can be given and amendments by members of both parties can be put into the bill. That's how it worked when we passed Obamacare. But in their rush to repeal and replace, whatever that means, the Republicans in the House already passed the bill without any committee hearings. And now the Republicans in the Senate are planning to do the exact same thing. Here's what one Democratic senator on the Senate Finance Committee had to say to her Republican committee chairman about these devious tactics.
Will we have a hearing on the health care proposal?
Will we?
Yes.
I think we've already had one, but...
No, I mean on the proposal that you're planning to bring to the floor of the Senate for a vote. Will there be a hearing? When you say that you're inviting us, and I heard you, Mr. Secretary, just say we'd love your support, for what? We don't even know. We have no idea what's being proposed. There's a group of guys in a back room somewhere that are making these decisions. There were no hearings in the House. I mean, listen, this is hard to take. We're not even going to have a hearing on a bill that impacts 1/6 of our economy. We're not going to have an opportunity to offer a single amendment. It is all being done with an eye to try to get it by with 50 votes and the vice president. I am stunned.
When you're doing bad things, I guess it's best to do them quickly and hope that nobody will notice, like robbing a bank, in and out in 60 seconds. But in this case, the Republicans are robbing millions of Americans access to high-quality health care. And here's how one progressive think tank in Washington put it. Quote, delaying or phasing in the cost shift to the states under the AHCA would not stop the eventual end of the expansion and steep reductions in Medicaid enrollment. The bill still would reverse the historic gains in health coverage and access to care that have been made under the expansion. What they're saying in like real people language is that the Republican replacement for Obamacare being pushed by Trump is going to make deep cuts to Medicaid. That's how old folks in America go to the doctor and get prescription medicine, instead of, choosing between buying dinner and paying for the prescriptions this month. And nobody wants to kick grandma off health care, even in Congress, because old folks vote like all the time. So Congress should be careful about who ends up getting targeted by their cuts to our health care. After all, there's an election coming up in about a year. And if you add seniors into the ranks of the resistance, then the only people voting for Republicans will be racists, Russian agents, and the deplorables. Yeah, I said it. I'm Ryan Clayton. This is Content News. Come back daily for the news where we're free to share the truth.